Have you ever wondered where all of those fanatic purifying geckos come from almost every single Stellaris game? Well, today we have the answer, the Gecko Breeder Co. Today we're going to be doing a full playthrough of Stellaris, and we are going to be focusing completely on breeding as many geckos into this galaxy as possible. In fact, our main goal is to get at least 2,000 of our bio trophy, the adorable little fanatically purifying geckos, into existence. Well, at least 2,000 populations, of course, each of those represent many, many more. We are starting the infestation of all other galaxies by using this galaxy as a breeding ground. We are going to be a somewhat aggressive rogue servitor species, and we are going to be focusing a lot on getting as much unity as possible. And to get unity as the rogue servitor, all you need is to have as many bio trophies as possible. So with that, honestly, let's just get straight into it. Well, I say get straight into it, let's talk about the Empire a little bit first. So, we have the Caretakers, the main machine Empire. These have learning algorithms and enhanced memory. This way, their leader level cap is increased by 2, and they get plus 25% leader experience gain. This is always really good with the machine Empires, because the machine leaders are immortal. Although they can break down, this is reduced by some of the tradition trees, which is pretty darn nice. They are high maintenance, and they are luxurious. These are expensive Caretakers, only the best for our Gecko children. And then they have emotion emulators, because extra amenities is always good, and I always find it a little bit difficult to get amenities with the machine empires. I don't know why I always struggle with this, because technically speaking, it's not that difficult, but I always end up messing it up. So we're going with this. It also makes sense because we're being lovely and kind to our little Gecko children. Need to stop calling them Gecko children, that's getting really, really weird really fast. Just to show how prone to change I am, I've changed the robots completely. Now they are using mass-produced and power drills, because I feel like I'm going to want a really aggressive start. And all those minerals are going to mean we can get all of the mining stations, all of the research stations, and even more alloys a lot faster, since those minerals will just be absolutely pouring in, now that we have the bonus 15%. Well, probably not pouring in, but we'll have a few more. For the bio trophies, we have rapid breeders, since we want them absolutely everywhere. Traditional, since I believe it counts as a job in terms of getting unity from them. So here's even more unity, and since this is the only way we can get unity, that's pretty darn important. And then we have conservationist, because the geckos will be incredibly expensive, as all bio trophies are, and that should make it at least a little bit more bearable. Again, I hope these two actually work with a bio trophy, since their rules are a little bit weird anyway. Other than Rogue Servitor, we're also going with Cohesion, which will give us even more unity. Essentially, we should get all of the traditions incredibly quickly if we play the way I'm going to try and play. And we're going with just the regular robots for appearance, because I never use these normally, so let's go with that. And that is pretty much that. The ruler is Gecko Supervisor Purity. Since we are breeding fanatic purifiers, I think that certainly works. So with that, let's move on. Okay, a medium galaxy, maximum crisis strength. We're having the endgame start 75 years earlier than usual. Our difficulty is maxed out, aggressiveness everywhere. Yep, that's pretty much that. Let's begin. And here we begin on the left side of the galaxy. So ultimately, what we're after to begin with is as many alloys and as many minerals as possible. I want every single system nearby as fast as I can possibly grab them. We are going to need so much space, so many planets, so much everything by the end game. We have to be very aggressive with how much space we get. And honestly, we should also be going for the choke points quite quickly, but I want to be quite efficient with the systems I get in terms of number of systems, so I really should go for the choke points, but I'm going to be very greedy and very hopeful that we don't end up in a bad position. And honestly, with the alloy production I'm aiming for, we are going to be really aggressive to any other empires we find as well. So, I don't really care about choke points, since we want to destroy everything. So here we are then, we have our lovely little geckos, and it turns out that yes indeed, traditional does increase their unity. So we are getting loads of unity from them, and the basic rule I'm going to go with to begin with, even though it will stunt our growth, is any world which is tropical, ocean, or continental, as long as they have no negatives to habitability, we are going to be growing geckos on them. Every other world will be just for the machines to get all the basic resources. Since they are still affected by habitability, and now habitability is so much more important, causing them to grow slower and give less resource and everything else, yeah, let's just stick to worlds where they're somewhat happy. Later on, we'll give them all the worlds if we can get their habitability up enough. Discovery of alien life. Wonderful! Prepare the gift baskets. That's interesting, we can't buy food. I'm fairly certain we normally can. Is this because we don't have any food production? So we haven't actually produced any of our own food yet? Okay. Yep, now we can buy food. Well, that's something I didn't know. Good news, bad news time. Good news, we have a precursor I've never seen before. Bad news, this is a full playthrough episode in which I condense sometimes over 20 hours of gameplay into a less than 2-hour video, so most likely I won't be covering this extensively, so I do apologise for that, though I will try and round up what's happening here and there. Sum up. I'll try and say the basics. Got our first minor artifacts, so it turns out they are really good for this Empire type. This one over here will increase our menial drone output and our stability per coordinator we have, and this one will increase our biotrophies output by 10%. Sadly, this doesn't increase their bonus they give to our complex drones, but it will mean extra unity. So very happy with that. The Rubricator, which means we are going to get ourselves a very, very lovely relic world quite soon. Question is, where is this? Okay, so by quite soon I mean in a while, but still, relic world. That's kind of awesome. And will be our main science world. I very rarely use this, but we're going to be using Interstellar Dominion, decreasing the influence cost of our starbases and our claims. And since we're going to be using claims so much, that is pretty darn nice. So, even faster expanding. We finished the first dig site, finding out it was the ruins of a very military-heavy empire, which apparently encountered a plant-like empire, and then proceeded to try and attack them. The very first plant-like colony, apparently, is within our home system, over here. Well, this is worrying. There are aliens here, here, and here, and they are all empires, since they are all science vessels. That's concerning. First empire we've found, and I think they're going to hate us. If I'm correct, egalitarians do not like rogue services. Oh, I am wrong. I could have sworn that was a problem, but apparently not. Yeah, they're going to be fine with us. Sure, for now, we'll just be the bestest friends of you. Wow, look how little territory you've grabbed so far compared with us. I'm okay with that. Hopefully the Second Empire is just as friendly. Second Empire is a hive mind. That will be pretty neutral. Yep, as soon as new contact goes away, we are completely neutral with them. That's good as well, then. Hopefully we can still continue to expand here and here. This makes our third world now growing geckos. The next galaxy won't know what hit it. We found a probe in our space, which then spawned in an enemy. Right where I was about to colonize. Okay, we're building our fleet a little bit earlier than expected, because I want that world, and I want that dig site. So, I just did a little test, sadly losing our corvettes in the process, just to see how aggressive this thing is, and it's really, really non-aggressive. So, I'm just sending my colony ship through. Just ignoring it completely. So right now we're actually being quite peaceful. I managed to bribe our neighbours, so now we're actually friends with the hive mind, even though we do some border friction, and over time we should be pretty darn friendly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So the only thing is, as soon as we run out of space to expand, then we are going to shift and be very, very aggressive. We are all about expansion. If there's something stopping our expansion, even if it's a previous friend, we are removing the previous friend. With prosperity now finished, we are either going to grab transcendent learning or technological ascendancy. Ascendancy is really good this early on, getting those rare techs is fantastic, but also making sure all of our leaders are max level as soon as possible is great. Plus the +2 to their leader level cap is awesome as well. Sure, we are going to have awesome robots regardless. You are welcome for your rubbish back, and of course, thank you for the 100 influence. So it turns out with the plant species, their young are not instantly fully connected to the hive mind, but slowly connect to them over time. So it's a more slow and methodical growth for the younglings, who then eventually become part of the hive mind. Sadly, this was also destroyed by the militant group, and they were absolutely unimpressed by the defences of the plants. On the upside, we found the next colony, which is over here. Making that number 3. I'm assuming it's going to be 6 like all the others, but we'll find out soon enough. I definitely prefer this to just randomly finding all the different colonies throughout the galaxy. Seems more methodical, more interesting actually. So I was building a starbase here, but nope, gonna cancel that for now because I completely forgot about the relic world. So what we're going to do is rush over here now. Now, what we could do is save up and then just go straight there. That requires 119 more influence. Or we could just keep on jumping. That would basically be the same cost. It'll just take longer, but since we have to wait for the influence anyway, yeah. Actually, I need to do the math at some point if it is worth it to grab all systems on the way in terms of pure influence, nothing else. In terms of being there faster, in terms of all the time you have to take doing all this, then yeah, of course, jumping there is best. But I don't know if it's cheaper or more expensive influence-wise. Okay, so it was kind of weird, but with this world, what had happened is we'd found some of the plant species, and they've essentially lost the ability to be a true hive mind. They can no longer communicate over great distances. So that is kind of weird. And once again, the militants are to blame, or at least are certainly active here. We are now getting a distress signal from the militants. So that's curious. And where is that going to be exactly? Aha. That didn't really help. Try again. Nope, you're not really showing me where it is, are you? Seriously? I just saved up enough influence to get there. Okay, it's here, so it's in a brand new system. Well, good to know that we're going to be fighting for that relic world fairly soon. Unless they spawn the dragon from the site. Oh god, that's going to go terribly. Yeah, I should have rushed there a bit faster. I was kind of going everywhere, and that's completely my fault, and a very big misplay. We ended up going to the distress signal, and it turns out it was a long-abandoned research station which was owned by the military empire. And within the research station, we have found the last surviving member of the hive mind, which is really weird, seeing one of the precursors actually alive. So if you want to read any of these, feel free to pause. I'm not going to be reading them in the video because way too long. And finally, would you like to join us? Pull the plug. No, we're obviously going to allow them to join us. If they wish to. Oh, no. So either way, the last surviving member does indeed pass away. Farewell. And that gives us a relic. Great, we've got the body. Preserved in stasis, the body of the last known specimen serves as a silent memorial to the fate of the species, who, afflicted with the tragedy of genocide, ultimately retreated from sentience. Okay, so the passive effect is population growth increased by 10%, that's amazing, and monthly society research also 10%, also absolutely amazing. Unlocks the decision, life seeding, granting the ability to turn one non-specialist world into a Gaia world. Okay. I wonder if that costs, though. So we activate it, and then we get the decision. Maybe it just gives us one of those decisions? If that's only 150 influence, that's going to be really cheap, so I can't imagine that. Also, we can do this for 50 minor artifacts. Sure, we'll do it at least once. I have no idea what that just did. Good.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
That was 50 points for nothing.
Construction.
I should have learned to read. Apparently we now need to do this afterwards. Well, in a few months we'll see exactly what's going on. So from the secrets we have gained some experience, one of our leaders. We now have a special research we can do, and terraforming cost is now decreased. Lovely. All those things are absolutely fantastic.
Successful.
Oh, is that the research? So now I can uplift other species. Well, still, nice of us to just have it now. And sadly, it's not repeatable. I've just activated the relic itself, so that should give us a decision, which means that's on a planet. No, it is actually free. Turns the planet into a Gaia world. Okay. That's ridiculous. I guess really we should make the most populated world a Gaia world first, since Gaia worlds do also give you increased resources. Then each time I have that available, just slowly convert all of our worlds into Gaia worlds for 150 influence each. That's still pretty cheap. Or I could convert one of the other large worlds into a Gaia world. That way I can start growing geckos there as well. But for now, I think, first of all, the capital should be Gaia. And it's also instant. Didn't expect that. Of course they're welcome. That's pretty cool. And you are apparently delicious. Well, your biotrophies. Now, since we are mostly making geckos, in fact, we're only making geckos, yeah, population controls. I'm afraid only geckos may grow there, but still, that is really cool. This is a really powerful relic. But seriously, that is one of the special genes you can only get by going into the genetic modification ascension route, and we have that now. So if I was a regular empire that could actually make use of that, well, yeah. Apparently these make the best salad. In many ways, machine empires are overpowered. Because of how they're balanced, they are incredibly powerful. But here's the thing. This is a little bit broken for robots. 100 crystals, 1000 minerals, 20 minor artifacts, but your leader becomes maimed by the explosion. Terrible. Truly terrible. Minus 40-year lifespan. Immortal robot. Doesn't really do anything to us, but okay. It's lost a leg, it will replace it when it's finished doing the job. Okay, so only certain types of egalitarian hate us. We are apparently oppressors. Yeah, we kind of are, but we're probably the nicest oppressors you'll ever see. Domination is now finished, and we are going to grab Synthetic Age, making sure our caretakers are the best caretakers they can possibly be. Which honestly just means I would like them to be cheaper for now. Ooh, but saying that, extra research is great, extra energy. Ooh, I would like all of these things. But that would be lovely. We can upgrade them later when we have more of them. We just need this design to be here so we can start making them like this. And I'll go ahead and convert everyone else anyway. Once more, we turn one of our worlds into perfection. And once again, we get a few free biotrophies. Sure. Arcane Deciphering. Break down minor artifacts for random technology bonuses. Cool. Wait, no, I think I've already had this in the Let's Play, but for some reason I saw that and thought it was something completely new. I mean, look how shiny it is. Slowly, all of our worlds will become infested with these lovely, lovely biotrophies. Actually, what I can do is move you off this planet onto a planet which is actually accepting biotrophies. Though, now you're a Gaia world, we could start breeding geckos here as well. Maybe later. Right now I do just need some more basic worlds. Speaking of which...
Ground invasion units have achieved all objectives.
Lovely. And that's a lot of biotrophies. Okay, so I've caved. All Gaia worlds will now have the organic sanctuaries, and thus will also have the geckos. Now, honestly, this doesn't even really become a major issue in terms of the planet's output until we're suddenly having to choose between either the organic sanctuary or a regular building. For instance, on the main planet, yep, 3 of our slots are already taken up by organic sanctuaries, and soon I'm going to have to swap another one for yet another organic sanctuary. It eventually does become a problem. So here we are, finally running out of space to expand. I've actually expanded a little bit slower than I expected because of spending influence pretty much everywhere else, but now we are finally completely almost out of space. So, what we're going to do is either go to war with the Trading Consortium here, or our long-standing allies. Going to war with the Trade Consortium is good because they have no allies of their own, so we're only fighting them, and it also means we have access to all of this space behind them, which is really, really lovely. Fighting our long-standing allies, on the other hand, is good, because we want the Relic World. Even though now it's been used up, there's going to be a dragon there defending it. But still, we want this section. I don't know which to go for. I think, realistically, this is the best option, because it will allow us access to this entire section of the map. At least this section appears to be completely devoid of other empires. We only need to be aggressive when we need to expand. Our economy is absolutely devouring itself. It turns out having so many planets with geckos on, although we are almost at 1,000 unity already, isn't really worth it because of all the upkeep required. So our energy's just gone absolutely mad in terms of its downward spiral. Our minerals are going down, our food's going down, consumer goods are okay, and our alloys are actually doing fairly decently. So yeah, currently alloys are the only thing keeping us afloat, so my fleet is growing really, really slowly. So I'm sending out my fleet because I want to do something with them, and I'm going to take over this section here. That way we can grab these two lovely, lovely worlds. We just need more energy, more generator districts everywhere. And thankfully, neither of those are tropical, so even with my current rule set, which I've imposed on myself, we don't need to put geckos there. Unlike 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 worlds currently have geckos on. Probably more, honestly. Yeah, and I didn't even count this one, since I didn't realise it was continental. Yeah. Just to highlight the problem, although it seems like having all these geckos and these weird elf things which I've got over here, where are you? Look at their weird non-scaled bodies. The problem with these, it looks like there's no true problem having so many on a planet, but it's the upkeep of consumer goods which is really hurting us. Because right now we are producing almost 250 consumer goods a month just to keep stock of all of our geckos and our new elf-like creatures. And that's really, really horrible. It's draining all of our minerals, and because of that we need loads of people working on minerals, and that means less and less of our robots are working on energy or anything else, and that's what's really sapping our economy. And then of course the food itself, once again the machines have to work on food rather than working on energy or something more useful. It's all the secondary problems they cause. Based on scores, I'm currently so average. Doing a little bit better in tech than most other empires. But then there's the hive mind, which is just... We're not going to talk about the hive mind. So I'm tempted to grab Mastery of Nature. I'm also tempted to grab Galactic Force Projection because I just think it's fun and I never use it. I'm actually tempted by pretty much everything here. But I think it's now time to save up and try and get Voidborn as soon as possible because I want to see just how effective a habitat will be for housing the geckos rather than housing them on the planets all the time and taking up really, really needed resources. So, let's just wait for that. Now, thankfully as well, our tech is now increasing. We're finally almost at 1k, so we should be seeing the Voidborn tech soon. Okay, upgrades are finally finishing off, which is lovely to see. Let's grab Supremacy next, I think, although Versatility is pretty nice, honestly. Less housing, which is fantastic at the moment. Upkeep is reduced. But yeah, we need the firepower now, finally. Ships are almost ready. As soon as they are, we go to war. Finally. Although I really should do this. Yeah, even if I am using my influence heavily, I should be using this probably on cooldown. It's just that effective. All of the Gaia worlds.
Construction complete.
Oh, who's doing that? The trading... Oh, okay, so the ones I'm currently about to attack. Oh no! They might attack us! You know, the whole reason why we're here. Okay, honestly, this should be a pretty easy war. We have better ships than them, we have more of them. Only by a little bit, mind you. But also, we're going to attack as a group. The AI tends to send fleets one at a time. As long as they do that once, we're pretty much guaranteed the victory. Then this whole section here is ours. So declare war. I wish to conquer you.
Automatic alert. War protocols initiated.
Go forth, my fleet. And make sure to stick together no matter what. Thankfully, they are the same speed. Oh, that's nice. So one of our worlds just became Gaia out of nowhere. In fact, it wasn't even a world before. Oh, hello. That is pretty lovely. Shame it's only a size 10, but still, that is a really good moon. Obviously, want that as soon as possible. So thank you to the Atomic Clock event. Do I have a claim on that? No, I really should. Yeah, that's really annoying. They've just grabbed that, and we really want that. That's one of the reasons why we're attacking. So before the war is ended, we're going to need to spend an additional 72 influence, and then the 55 we already have. That's just annoying. Also, can you two go back first? So grab that first, destroy the construction vessel, then continue forwards. A little while later, and as expected, the enemy have been splitting up their forces quite a lot, and now I can afford that. Beautiful. So you go back there, attack that fleet. You just dealt with another fleet over there. You've lost a little bit, but not too much. Fantastic. And here's some bonus fire rate. Go crazy.
Alert.
Stop running away from me. And then suddenly, we have faster ships.
Alert.
Now please catch up with them. Thank you.
Detected.
Lovely. Our lasers are better than your lasers. Now, go and take back everything. We can almost status quo already. This was probably one of the easiest wars I've ever waged. Once we have this system, we're pretty much done. We could build some ground forces, but I think I'll do that next time when I grab loads of claims. Because remember, claims are more expensive if you are in an aggressive war. There we are, an offensive war, so plus 100%. That's why grabbing this was so painful. Well, didn't really see that fleet, but apparently that was one of its members. Bye.
Alert. Hostile fleet assets detected.
The Geckos need more
Hostile
space.
fleet assets detected.
Okay, that should be us done. Lovely. Well, they surrendered, so there we go. Victory. We've now claimed all this lovely territory, although they apparently also claimed this system because they're just being really annoying at this point. I mean, to be fair, I just claimed loads of their space, so probably I'm being more annoying, arguably, but, you know, still. Irritating.
Construction complete.
Okay, you go back here to the shipyard. We'll probably go back to war with these fellows before we go to war with anyone else. Once again, I want to break through, so I at least have access to this area. Look, there's no empire. We can just expand freely again. My economy was looking okay, so now naturally I'm shifting even further into research and alloys.
Complete.
Who needs raw resources to make all the things I'm making? Me, because I'm about to go broke. But on the upside, we'll have more shiny lasers. We are now at war with our neighbours towards the east, because annoyingly, they declared war on us.
Assets detected.
Now thankfully, I was already building a secondary fleet down here, which is now making its way over here, but yeah, they are really nasty in comparison to that last group. But I'm hoping I can still fight them back. I've made some claims on their territory, so if we win, we get some space. If we lose some space. Glorious victory for the machines. And our secondary fleet is now here. And should be strong enough to take out that fleet there. So yeah, we are in a great position now. Supremacy is finished, so now we have 2 points to spend. Yeah, we might as well spend one then. So what do I actually want? I'm tempted by Mastery of Nature to increase the size of our planets. But here's the thing. As soon as I get the Voidborn ability, so as soon as I get the habitats, I'll get Voidborn. As soon as I have Voidborn, I want Master Builders. So I'm leaving those two until I get them. Oh, hello. Can we fight? If they stuck together, they could have been terrifying. But they didn't, so they're not. Lasers. Not one of the best weapons, but definitely one of my favourite, just purely on looks. Just lost quite a few of our ships there, in fact, loads of them. Yep, they had a 10,000 strong fleet. Before that, we've also fought a 7k and an 8k. In other words, if they all stuck together, they would have just crushed me. Completely. They definitely had more ships, they had a stronger navy. But because they attacked separately, well, it didn't particularly go all that well. One more relic activation, one more Gaia world. We've kind of exploded over the last few years. Suddenly, we are making fleets a lot faster, our tech is really ramping up, and I think it's because purely, all of our worlds are now online, at long last. We were certainly not the most aggressive empire, but we are getting there now. So I still don't really know what I want to do. I do kind of want to keep on attacking these, they are the only real threat, but I still want to expand out to here. But, yeah, removing this threat is a pretty big deal. There it is, habitat. Fantastic. You know, we probably don't even need to expand as much as I have been, considering we are going to be using habitat so much, but, you know, bit bloodthirsty. Want to destroy everything around us for the geckos. I just realised I have no idea how good habitats are for the machine empires. I doubt we can have the leisure districts, and we definitely can't have the trade value districts, so what do we get by default? I'm currently building my first one over a non-resource world. It's definitely better to build them over resource worlds. I just want to see what the default is. Also, I completely forgot what we need is mega engineering before we can grab master builders. So, sadly, we aren't getting that bonus build speed anytime soon. In fact, saying that, I'm tempted to grab Colossus Project rather than Machine Worlds as our final Ascension perk. Actually, I may grab Colossus Project, Machine Worlds, Master Builders rather than Galactic Wonders being built in there. I love Galactic Wonders, but remember, we are bringing the Endgame Crisis 75 years early, and I just don't think I'll have enough time to really build the Galactic Wonders. Although saying that, even a single one of these will just make my Empire so much better. But yeah, the Colossus is amazing, the Master Builders and Machine Worlds are all really good as well. So I was incorrect. We still have the Leisure District. But then we have reactor districts rather than trade districts, and then just the regular housing. Okay. Did not expect that. Maybe, though, that's because we have the organics. Maybe that's just because we are the rogue servitors. I obviously don't know. This is the first time playing a machine empire since the habitat changes. But still, that's pretty cool. And really good for energy. Wow, these things are just batteries. Well, reactors, generators. They also store energy, I'm sure. I'm not wrong. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Leisure District is definitely for us, specifically the Rogue Servitors, because it gives us biotrophy jobs. That is really, really good. Now, the question is, though, does it also decrease? Yep, it also provides them their regular housing as well. That is amazing. Also provides housing for the lovely robots who will eventually care for them. So, yeah, build one of those, please. Then we'll have a few generator districts extra, because we are going to have more housing than jobs otherwise for the robots. So, yep, overall, that is really, really good for this empire. Especially with our side goal of getting to 2,000 geckos. At the moment, I think we're on, like, yep, 250, so still a long way to go, but this will really help. We now have will to power on, which means we're getting loads more influence, which means loads more habitats. I've decided we are definitely getting the Colossus project. This way we can wage war without spending influence, which means we can focus on building more habitats and sorting out our population. After that, I'm almost certain now we're going to get machine worlds, so some of the worlds we have left, which are not being used for the geckos, we can get maximum resources from. This is essentially going with machine worlds rather than Galactic Wonders. I'm currently doing Galactic Wonders in my current Let's Play as well, so this is something a bit more different, a bit more fun. Also, it's a lot easier. Our main shipyard is now building the Titan assembly yards, and we also have the Colossus project now being researched. Once that's complete, we can also build the Colossus assembly yards. And then, our neighbours are going to be very, very sad. I mean, really, neither of them are great for us, but Neutron Sweep, then the planets are fresh for the geckos. There are no other types of biotrophy. Probably a bit of a jump since the last clip, but now we are building our machine worlds, and we are also building our Colossus. Soon we are going to be fully online, and we are going to go to war with our neighbours, taking over all of this lovely, lovely space. Then all of this space. Then this space. You get the idea. We're going to try and take as much as we can. Going into Unity so early really crippled our economy, but at least it gave us the Ascension perks really early. So ultimately, I have to remind myself, at least the Colossus is a big plus. Well, apparently this poor empire is already very much at war, so that's actually annoying for us, because grabbing all this space now is going to be really difficult. But I could attack the hive mind. Yeah, they have defensive pacts, but not with anything scary to us. How about these fellows, the tribes? Yep, that's with the hive mind. I guess I could go back up here and actually take the area which I originally was going to take. That is actually a much better idea. Everyone move. Also, we really need to get gateways. As soon as I can, I'm getting some gateway tech. Also, Can you please finally explore this wormhole? It's been here the entire time, just haven't bothered to actually click it. Because that's the kind of person I am. Bask in the glory of the first machine world of the Empire, not only increasing our output by our robots by 10% and decreasing their housing usage by 10%, it also changes how the districts work. Since it no longer has any planetary features, the districts simply go off the size of the planet and not any set amount, which means you can have unlimited mining districts within the size of the planet. So with this planet, for instance, we can have 20 mining districts. Essentially, this allows us to really heavily go for one resource type, and as we are converting a lot of our planets into this, it means suddenly our mineral and energy problems are simply fading away. Honestly, at the moment, we're doing okay for them anyway, but since I still need way more tech and way more alloys, yeah, we want loads more mining worlds. And this is how they're gonna look. Kinda scary, really. Well, it's time to declare war. Total war.
Diplomatic alert. War protocols initiated.
And straight away we're fighting one of their fleets. Lovely. They were already attacking our friends, so this made it a lot easier for us. Okay, so what do we really want to do? Honestly, just take out all of the stations and wait until the Colossus gets there. Which is going to be a while. The Colossus can't yet jump, and it moves incredibly slowly. But at least we don't need ground forces, although we do have some. So we could use ground forces until it arrives, but yeah, we'll be fine.
Technological acquisition successful.
One of our two fleets could probably take out the entire Empire. We have two of them. This Empire's ours. Did I mention that I'm building a science nexus? Because I'm building a science nexus. Which naturally I don't have enough alloys for, because, well, the whole war effort and all that. I do love Titans. I wish they didn't get focused down as much, because I would love to use them loads more. Okay, I've got a lot of questions here. So we found the first fallen empire, and it's the Blorg. For those who don't know, the Blorg are actually one of the regular empires you can play. It's one of the non-custom empires, one of the standard default ones, and one of the ones which is mentioned a lot in other contexts. In fact, if you go to the the Xenophile voice actress, she will occasionally say, the Blorg are friendly creatures. I was unaware you can find them in this form, as a fallen empire. Truly, the ascendancy of the Blorg. I was thinking to myself the first time that I find the fallen empire, great, I can finally have their shields and everything else, but I am not attacking something so pure. And this is the Blorg. They come from the planet Blorg, and here is their backstory in the bottom right. And scrolling down if you'd like to read. So the Blorg are bizarre, and at one point made me think I was going mad. As it turns out, I'm not sure if it only happens if it's the Blorg Empire itself, but at least with this portrait, I once clicked on one of them, made a trade deal, and rather than hearing the normal noise that the fungus species actually make, instead I heard the word friend. And it turns out, as confirmed by Stellaris themselves, that that can occasionally happen incredibly rarely. And they're lovely. And apparently can be a fallen empire. Which is kind of terrifying. Or maybe I just made up that whole thing about them saying friend in order for people to try over and over and over again to see if it will happen. But you'll never know. And maybe I'll be driving people insane. Or maybe it's a glorious Easter egg. Well, okay, so it turns out that machine worlds also have specialized world types. So right now, I guess for us, this would be best for this. There we are. Mining districts and generator districts are built quicker, and our menial drones output more. Since we're getting loads of minerals, that's pretty darn good. And that's pretty much how it all goes. Yeah, okay, so they all have the bonus build speed and then different bonuses. So they're definitely good then for either alloy production or consumer goods. Not so much for tech though, and then tech's just the standard tech, yeah. Well, for now then, just basic machine world. Give me more minerals, please. Friends. As our friends bombard the planet in order to simply conquer it normally, we're doing something a little bit more interesting. 90% now? And...
Alert. Spaceport engaged.
almost there. And so the world was made pure again. No life whatsoever. Well done. Certainly a lot easier than taking over the planets, and no random biotrophies, which sadly we can't get rid of. Since we are the rogue servitors, there's no way to simply remove them. I am tempted to make a planet and then throw them onto the planet, but that seems weird. We are getting Unity, which is good, because we are still using up all these ambitions, but we are very quickly getting lots of Unity as we increase how many Geckos we have. So we really, really don't need these populations. Just simply taking all life from the world is a lot easier for us. Oh, I forgot. Some empires have a problem when I do that. Not the hive mind, though. Hive mind's pretty chill with that. I guess as a hive mind, they don't appreciate individual life all that much. Everyone's gonna hate us. Well, more excuses to take this lovely patch of land here. Ooh, lovely, a relic world.
Planetary settlement procedure initiated.
Let's clean it of the Xenos, and then we can repopulate it with Geckos. Observe, neighbours, how you truly cleanse an empire. And then you completely vanish. Interesting. Only a little while longer and the enemy hold 3 small sections of space left. Once that's gone, they are completely deleted from the map. And then we'll just do some regular expanding until we once again cannot expand. Then we go to war with a pretty scary federation. Or these fellows, like the Hive Mind and the Tribes who both like each other. Either way, after this, most enemy groups are friendly. Oh, wait, no, there is just the nation. Are you still friendly, yes or no? That's the question. With anyone. You. Darn, okay, so this whole group's one group, this whole group's the other group, and they all hate me now. Lathric's building gateways? A weird yet correct thing to do. Even if I normally forget to do them. And it is done. We have destroyed the entire empire, and now it is ours. Lovely. Okay, everyone get back. I'm now building a gateway here, one in the middle and one over here, which means I'm no longer building any habitats, which is really annoying. But we definitely need more fleet power, so now we just need to focus on expanding into all these areas here, just for fun, and making sure all of our planets are up and working. Yeah, we weren't really as expansionistic or as aggressive as I thought we were going to be, because I didn't realize just how much focusing on the Geckos would slow us down. It really slowed down everything, and honestly, it's a lot earlier in the game than I usually have to worry about this stuff. Normally, I'd be thinking about attacking one of the fallen empires. In fact, I'm still tempted to, just because if you attack a fallen empire, so let's say these fellows. Oh, yeah, if I do Total War, never mind. What I would need to do is claim or something else, not Total War. That way, when they put in what they want from the war, it's almost always just humiliate. So all you do is get into one fight with one of their fleets, you lose, at the moment, and then they'll drop some of their tech. You can then research the tech, and then you get the better shields. But right now, though, I don't want to lose my fleets. I don't think I'll have enough time or resources to really rebuild them. So, yeah. Do want some missiles, though. And finally, researching the jump drive. So now we have 25 years to increase the number of Geckos to hopefully get the win conditions soon after the endgame crisis, along with finally getting our fleets up and running completely. On the upside, our fleets are actually looking pretty good right now that we're upgrading them. Their fleet power's okay. They're not extremely good fleets, but if we can get another 3 or 4 full fleets in the next 25 years, we should just about be able to fight off an endgame crisis when it spawns. And of course, if it spawns quite far away, I'll have a bit more time as well. Okay, what on earth is this? Oh no. Who opened the L gate? Do not open the L gate. This is basically the warning. Okay, does that mean we have... Yep, the Grey Tempest there. Did not realise that I had an L gate right there on my own territory, and there's one over here as well, isn't there? Oh, for the love of... Okay, one fleet, please go over here right now. Other fleet, do the opposite. And by the opposite, I mean go up here. Not really the opposite, is it? But still, you get the point. Defend the L gates. Okay, I won't be mad. Just own up. Which one of you just did this? So glad I have jump drives. Okay, we almost lost... Oh, no, did we lose our station? Ah, thankfully we had the planet. Okay, that's good, because that's one of our major stations which just went out. Okay, you go there, and then you're going to go... Oh, wait, no, first of all, I need a scientist over here, don't I? Scientist? Closest one? Might be worth just making a new one. Anyway, on the other side, though, yep, we are losing stations quite quickly. You, jump there. Stop it from happening. Oh, this is unfortunate. This empire here has just had its military absolutely devastated by the fallen empire. And now it has the Grey Tempest attacking it.
Construction complete.
Well, since we don't need a scientist to at least go into the first system... Whoa, did not expect there to be 3 fleets here. Just fight me one at a time, and it'll be fine.
Construction complete.
That is such a lot of strikecraft. Thankfully, our strikecraft will attack their strikecraft, since we're currently only using the scouts and not all that many of them.
Construction complete.
2 out of 3. Now for the last. Oh no, there's another one as well. Okay, other fleet. Good, good, good. You get here as well, please. Can I order you to back off? Nope, it's too late. We're probably going to lose one of our fleets here, but that should be the main attack out of the way at least.
Construction complete.
Want to help? There we go. Thank you, Titan.
Construction complete.
Okay, no, that wasn't too bad. Still lost quite a bit, but nowhere near as much as we could have. Scientist, can you please go through? Construction vessel, when you can, you go through as well. Let's make sure we claim at least this system. That way we have control of the L gates. Well, I just found out something I'm very happy about. I thought I had destroyed all the void clouds earlier on, or at least someone else had destroyed them, and I had not got the research from it, as in I had not managed to get a science vessel over there in time in order to get the debris, which will give us the cloud lightning weapon. But, look, it's a tiny little group of void clouds here. So at some point, after I'm done here, I need to jump back over, jump into this sector, destroy the void clouds, and make sure there's a scientist nearby.
Construction.
The Blorg have awoken. Of course they have. Oh, that is terrifying. Hey, Blorg. No, thank you. Should have destroyed you when I had the chance. And now we face off against the main factory of the nanites. If we all just focused on the factory, all these turn off, but nope. Come on, attack the factory. There we go.
Complete.
And now all of these nanite worlds can be converted into regular worlds, which I'll be using for minerals and food. Wait. Ancient rivals. I was not under the impression that the xenophiles and the materialists could do this. Oh no. They're now both awoken. On the upside, they are right next to each other. So hopefully what will happen is, I'll just ignore both of them, one of them will destroy the other one, then the one which is weakened, I'll simply swoop in and destroy. We We are now researching Cloud Lightning, which is fantastic since it's the counter-weapon to things like the Awakened Empire, which use loads of shields and loads of armor, but not all that much hull in comparison. Yeah, really, really happy we have that weapon now. And on the upside, the Cloud Lightning is also very good against some of the endgame Crisis, so very happy with that as well. The War in Heaven. Seems like instantly one of them have... Whoa, seems like a lot of people have... Oh dear. The Blorg are friendly creatures. We will not take sides in this conflict. Have fun, you two. So, it looks like you... Yep, now serve the Blorg. In fact, a lot of you do. How are the Blorg so strong? We're still making fleets constantly. We've got over 1,000 alloys being produced every month, and yet the Blorg just... Well, they're just kind of there. On the upside, they will be going to war fairly soon. Nope, they already are. Fantastic. Destroy each other. We will not lead this league. All empires are on their own. We are here for the Geckos and nothing else. We'll do nothing to endanger them. Just ask this weird world over here. Well, would you look at this. So, the League of Non-Aligned Powers are now attacking both of the Awakened Empires as they attack each other. There are going to be lots of destroyed ships around soon, and I really, really want that lovely tech. So what we need to do is find somewhere where they're fighting. Here's the question then. Do we attack them ourselves? If we attack only one of the two, we will sway the war in favour of one side. And that tech would be glorious. But there's less than 10 years until the endgame crisis can occur, and we will lose a lot of ships. And they are no longer fallen empires. If we go to war with them, they will demand either we surrender to them completely, or they take some of our space. For once, I don't think we're getting the fallen tech. We're just going to sit here. We've got loads of places to expand, and honestly, my influence is being used on habitats more than anything. I did not need all that expansion space. Oh well.
Full acquisition successful.
Well, it looks like the Regulator team is definitely winning here, although the non-aligned forces are also doing pretty well. They are starting to claim areas over here. They're attacking the Blorg directly, but they're not getting into the Regulators. I really wish something like this happened during the time-lapse I did, because this is amazing to watch. And we're just sort of here, building habitats. I mean, look at how many habitats we have already. Yeah, and we're going to be building more. In fact, we are building more. Geckos! We like geckos! It turns out an endgame crisis being able to spawn 75 years early is actually kinda scary. Although our fleets are not exactly weak and we are continuously adding more and more to them, right now we are in a position where I think I could probably kill one enemy fleet, especially if I heavily focus on countering that fleet type. But more than one fleet and we're going to get overwhelmed. At the same time, the galaxy is at war with itself, which means if I show weakness, if I lose too many ships, they will most likely declare war on me. We're not in the best position. And I'm really wishing we had grabbed Defender of the Galaxy, giving us bonus damage to the endgame crisis, but we didn't, because I thought that Interstellar Dominion would be great with this empire. It isn't. At some point, I'm going to do a full playthrough where I play an empire which is specifically designed for aggressive expansion. This weird, silly challenge run was not designed for that. I thought it was. I was wrong. I made a mistake. Lathrix was wrong. I know. What a huge surprise. I'm a little bit nervous, what can I say? You know, spreading out your ships so they can move is just overrated. Meet the Death Blob.
Planetary settlement procedure initiated.
I call her Fluffy. In the War in Heaven, apparently the Blorg are the most fierce warriors of all. So, yep, this is how it looks currently. And I am so tempted to get some forces here and jump into their space. If we can just take out one of these stations, we will get the tech we need. And it's certainly in range. It's a bit late, but all I'm going to do is jump in, take out a station, run away. And they really are not in a position to fight back. Both the Blorg and the League of Non-Aligned Powers are pushing them back constantly. And we would lose practically nothing. Okay then, let's send in 2 or 3 fleets. Grab some tech and run back. Then we can start upgrading rather than building more ships. I'm already massively over my navy capacity. I'm trying to fix this now, but yeah. I can't really build that many more ships without expanding greatly, but I'm using all my influence to build more habitats so we can get the Gecko goal, so more tech to simply upgrade what we already have is definitely the best option here. And we don't need too many. Now, once we jump, though, we will be weakened significantly. So let's send in 4 of our fleets. That way they definitely won't be destroyed. And I think the station itself will drop tech. If not, I'll just keep on jumping around until I shoot one of them in the face. There we are, one very basic station gone, and suddenly we have debris. Debris containing the most beautiful of things. Excuse me, I would love those shields. At least I think they'll have the shields. Wait. Yes, you have everything I need. Fantastic. Now the question is, where do we stop? Because we could take this. And this, and this, and this, and this section, and all of this! Oh, actually, no, we can't. It seems like, wow, they are being completely beaten back. Bleaten back? They're being beaten back, in fact. Oh, no, you've lost your main capital. Oh, they're just dead. Yeah, they're doomed. If they've lost their main capital, which is... Oh, wait, no, they do have the archives. Oh, is it just being... Yeah, okay, so maybe just the station is currently taken. No. Yes. Perhaps. Either way, important things are gone. That's all that really matters. And at some point, some of the marauders died. We interrupt this war for a very important announcement. The reptile strike craft look awesome. They're so simple looking, they're kind of cute. Well done, Swarm. This must be rather weird to watch for the enemy. Well, I say weird, completely horrific. We are currently researching their corpses, because although we are researching the remains of the ships, I'm sure there are corpses in there, at the same time we are bathing a planet, as the weapon calls it. Which means doing this. A spring clean of the souls.
Ship fragments dissected.
And so, the world is now devoid of life. Well, I say life. Severely degrading most materials and directly destroying biological tissue, so I assume some life must remain, otherwise the world will be barren. But still, I imagine even non-sapient life is probably not exactly having a fun time right now. We've only just now hit the point of having half of the goal of 2,000 of these lovely, adorable, genocidal, absolutely insane geckos, which were in every single one of my Let's Plays. But here's the thing, although we have only just hit that point, only 15, in fact maybe less than 15 years ago, I had less than 700 of these geckos. We are now almost hitting 1,100, and so I'm actually worried that we've overdone it with how many habitats we have, because the rate of their breeding is now going to insane levels. After doing some basic math and realizing that actually the leisure districts aren't very good in comparison to the regular buildings, these stations can have in excess quite easily of 100 geckos each. And look how many we have. And we're currently making 2 more. And we have several worlds, which I've just now added the geckos to, just before doing the math. We're going to really overshoot. On the upside, it means we're going to get there faster. But then we're going to have a problem. We do not need any more Unity. My god, that is hampering us so much. And so the geckos are very, very useless. Now, I say useless, one good thing which I found out is because the geckos are giving us the lovely bonus complex output, it means we can very cheaply produce the rare resources. Having these habitats as refinery stations is actually really good, because the geckos are increasing the rate we get resources from minerals. That's fantastic. Still not worth it to have so many, but at least we're putting them to some good use. But yeah, the gecko thing is gonna be a problem really soon, is what I'm saying. Also, still waiting for the endgame crisis. Also, yeah, this Federation is just dominating. Why didn't I lead them again? Beautiful. We have the reactors, the thrusters, and the shields. Thank you. Oh, enemies of the Blorg. What little of you there actually are left. I have seen about 5 or 6 Wars in Heaven events occurring, and this is the one time I have seen one side so clearly lose. Normally, it's quite even, one might lose a bit of ground, but ultimately, by the end, even after the endgame crisis, normally one side hasn't completely lost. These got crushed by the Blorg. You! I like you. The cost of these upgrades is horrendous, but yeah, the difference in fleet power already of the fleets which are getting some of these upgrades is definitely worth it. In our Doom blob. The precursors have been defeated. Again, the only time I've seen this before is when I myself intervened and destroyed one of the empires. I've never seen it happen naturally before. All we've done is taken this little space here because we wanted some tech.
Construction complete.
Well done, Blorg. But you're probably too weak to attack me, so don't even try it. But we will leave you alone, because you're the Blorg. And you are friendly creatures.
Construction.
So now we're just waiting around for the endgame crisis. Honestly, I don't see the point of really conquering anything else. We're definitely going to get to that 2,000 Gecko limit very soon, in fact. Since the last time we've looked, we're now at 1,310. Yeah, that is increasing incredibly quickly. By the end of the endgame crisis, we will have all of the adorable little genocidal geckos. And loads of you. And a few of you. The coming storm, once again, it's the Scourge. So, what we really need to do then is avoid all shields. Yeah, so really great thing we've done here, changing all of our craft to using the dark matter deflectors. Because now all we're going to use is armor. The reason is, the Scourge are very good against shields, either dealing double damage or completely ignoring it, but they don't get those bonuses versus armor. Well, some bonus damage versus armor, but you get the point, it's better than shields. So everything will now be using armor. I still don't know, even though it's like the third time I've said this, if it's better to completely ignore armor and go straight for the hull, or is it better to go for bonus armor damage and bonus hull damage, something like... Not the auto cannon, where are you? Something like the Neutron Launcher, because this is dealing 4 times damage essentially, and it's doing bonus damage to both armor and hull. This does no bonus damage to the hull, but completely ignores the armor. Honestly speaking, it's probably better to go for pure anti-armor. Though normally I go with this anyway, because this is the safer option. You know what, for once, I don't really care if it is more effective or not, I just think this will be more fun to watch. So I'm going to swap out everything to anti-armor and anti-hull. Which I have none of the maximum size weapon for. Really, did I not research that at all? Didn't research these, wow. Okay, good job we have a little bit of time here to research the tech, which shouldn't take too long, thankfully. So here we are then with the rank 3 plasma weapon, doing an okay amount of damage, lower than the laser cannon and autocannon, but here's the thing, it does double damage versus armor and plus 50% damage versus hull, and then you need to compare it with the phase disruptor. The disruptor completely ignores armor. Armor is just completely ignored here, and so its base damage, although it is only half of that of the plasma cannon and then no bonuses, is instantly applied to what actually kills the enemy. So it all depends on how much armor the enemy actually has. If it has loads of armor, then suddenly the disruptor becomes the more worthwhile weapon. Whereas if it's got a medium amount of armor, medium amount of hull, because of the sheer amount of damage, the plasma cannon becomes more worthwhile. And I don't know if that's the case here. Either way though, that's what we're going with, because it's going to be fun. And we have loads of scoutcraft as well, which do bonus damage versus armor, so we may as well stick with that. In fact, what we could do, just for a bit of fun, is change the battleship to start using strikecraft if I research those, but I don't think I've got the time right now since I need to retrofit all of these, so for now, we're just going with the Neutron Launchers, which are essentially the same thing as the plasma, and do loads of bonus damage versus the armor and hull, although more damage to the hull than armor this time with less of a negative with the shields. And then the Tachyon Lance, once again, armor and hull. Okay. Everything is also using armor because we don't want them attacking shields. All well and good? All well and good. Okay, let's retrofit our legions, which is going to cost a fortune. I actually stopped building ships as well, so thankfully we did have enough alloys for most of it. Wow, no, we didn't even have enough. We had like 50k alloys. I was just sitting there saving up, and nope. Well, okay then. The breach point is here. So, if I need to go to war with the Hive Mind to gain access, how difficult will it be? Actually, can I just bribe them? Look, I don't want to be bestest friends ever with you, but can we at least get to the point where we're friendly? Normally at this point, the rare resources, yep, are worth way more than things like alloys, so... There we are. That's maximum for that. Okay, gonna open borders? As open to you? This is for your own good, it really is. Come on. We used to be friends. There we go, excellent. Well, here they are. Are we strong enough to defeat them? I'm gonna say yes, if they don't all attack us at once. If we can get a couple of these fleets on their own, so they're not stacked like this, I think we have a very good chance of winning. If not, they could overwhelm us. They do have double the armor than they do have hull, so that's for the math from earlier. Shield damage, and then shield penetration, armor damage, hull damage. Yeah, definitely better to have pure armor. Okay, let's move out our fleets now. We could jump. Would that be faster? It would be faster, but then we'd have to wait for a year. So no, it's not faster. Since after you jump, you are much weaker for a short while. They're saying that one of our groups is way faster than the others. Ah, because of the leader. Okay.
Construction complete.
Making some ships over here, making some ships over here. Now that we're no longer upgrading, suddenly loads of alloys have been freed, which is lovely.
Hostile fleet assets engaged.
All those Tachyon lances firing instantly. I saw at least one die, in fact several. There we go. More of the Tachyon lances, and our Titans firing. Once again, lots being destroyed. Look at that. All of these scout craft acting as point defense, taking out the missiles, the main damaging thing from the Scourge. Now, if that's done, they attack. That did not as much damage as I thought it did, but okay. Sadly, not all of our craft are upgraded yet. Some of them are still obviously using the Cloud Lightning, but that's fine. It's not exactly a bad thing. Well, I would rather them all be one thing or the other, but still. Come on, you can win this. Thankfully, the enemy don't have massive evasion. In fact, what is it? Their evasion is 65%, better than I thought it was, but it's not like their corvettes. They're like very agile destroyers. So even at point-blank range and against battleships, we are hitting them quite a lot here. And again, look at all of that point defense going off. Wow, we lost so little there. That was beautiful. Okay, let's go very quickly then towards that second group. How much did we lose? 16 corvettes, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, 6 corvettes, 1 cruiser. Wow, we lost so little. Well done, lads. Okay, get ready to go together once again. And as soon as you're ready, attack that, which is currently attacking... Aww, it's one little cruiser. What? Oh my god, it bugged out. Oh my god, it bugged out. This cruiser would technically eventually win. Oh, please don't say we glitch out as well. Why did it surrender? It wasn't taking damage.
Technological acquisition successful.
That was one brave little cruiser. Oh, look at our corvettes just melting then. They actually outpaced the point defense. That's what the problem was. Even the strike craft hadn't got there yet, so they all got hit by missiles. Wow, lots of point defense is really good versus these fellows. Okay, and lots of armor melting. That's everyone from there. Let's teleport over very quickly. Again, this is a real race of time. It's not long at all before the second wave approaches. And the second wave is well over double the strength of the first. That was the best we have ever done versus an endgame crisis. That was over in seconds. Next time, I'll put the endgame crisis 25 earlier again. Yeah, 25 years earlier. Something about years always makes me stammer. And I say years weirdly anyway, because I'm British. But still, we win! Overcome by excitement, Lathrix began to stammer again like a dolt. Go forth, my lovely dolty legion. just obliterated them. Yeah, I'm sticking with anti-armor from now on. Okay, so how far are we along with the geckos then? Okay, only 400, well, just under 470 to go.
Construction
All
complete.
of our planets, which can grow the geckos, are now growing the geckos.
Construction complete.
Or at least, I'm changing it, so that's now the case. Okay, lovely. With the main threat out of the way, this is all we're focused on now. And honestly, we are now definitely strong enough that if we wanted to, we could easily take out the Blorg. Here's something I've just thought about, though. How amazing would it be for this to be the end? Because if I agree to this, I can no longer declare war. I can no longer own populations, which I don't do anyway, since biotrophies don't count as own populations. In return, the Blorg will forever defend us. The Blorg will then play a part in spreading the geckos to every galaxy. The Blorg are to blame, partially, for the fanatical purifiers that are the geckos. I can't do it right now because they are indeed at war, but as soon as that's over, I think that's the perfect end.
Construction complete.
Yep, that is growing incredibly quickly, and I've also turned on nutritional plentitude. We should hit 2,000 in only a few more years. I now realise I've massively underestimated just how long it's going to take for those geckos to reach that lovely 2,000 number. So right now, I'm going to say we are absolutely victorious. There is nothing which could possibly stand in our way. Right now, the Blorg are weaker than us, all of the empires are pathetic in comparison, and we even have 2 subjects. We own this galaxy right now. We could easily claim utter and complete victory. Or, we could do what I said I was going to do earlier and just do this. We submit, we can easily become their signatory. And so because of that... Wait for it. Wait for it. Eventually you'll say yes. There we go. The Blorg and we are now one. Now we are technically at war now with the rest of the galaxy, but just look at their forces. Oh no, a 22,000 fleet. However am I going to deal with this? We could easily defend our borders forever. It's just utterly won. We even have a fleet, in fact 2 fleets over here. The game is won. It's just inevitability right now. So I do apologise the fact we didn't quite get to 2,000. The one thing I really wish we had done is go into gecko manufacturing more heavily earlier on. That would have also posed more of a challenge, but honestly it really did. It slowed us down so much as it was. I'm so glad we got to be peaceful at the start, otherwise this would have been way more difficult. And to get this many biotrophies is still horrendous. Look at that Unity income. Almost 10,000 purely from the geckos, and that's increasing. Almost all of my economy goes into focusing on the geckos. So I will say I've won now. I really want this video out by Saturday. It's currently Friday night, so I'm sure you understand why we are calling it here. So with that really long outro done, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. The Blorg and the Gecko Breeder Co. have now brought geckos to all galaxies. Long live the Purifiers. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.